Hey everybody, welcome to the AA MMA show where we discuss everything to do with the UFC and MMA. This is going to be a short preview, inshallah, of the UFC Fight Night event against Robert the Reaper Whittaker and Darren the Gorilla Till. These two are the cream of the crop in the middleweight division, and the winner will almost surely get the next title shot versus either Paulo Costa or Israel Adesanya. Let's start with the Reaper himself, Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker is an Australian fighter, mixed martial artist, black belt in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, an orthodox stance with a freestyle MMA background. His record is 21-5 professionally and 8-2 in the middleweight division. Whittaker is best known for the Romero Wars, where he successfully defeated the most genetically gifted fighter, the most genetically gifted individual, Yoel Romero, not once, but twice. Whittaker was also the winner of the Ultimate Fighter, which was his breakthrough and his start in the UFC career. But the defining moment of Rob's career was his knockout in the first round of Derek Brunson, which made him a household name and the most exciting fighter in the UFC. Robert Whittaker was once quoted, "My best hand is the one that connects," when he was asked which he prefers, the left or the right hook. Whittaker won the middleweight championship against Yoel Romero despite having a broken kneecap, which should show you a lot about his heart and his perseverance. Whittaker was supposed to fight Kelvin Gastelum for the middleweight championship, but just hours before the event, he pulled out to undergo emergency surgery due to abdominal hernia and a collapsed bowel, which almost killed him. He returned to action a little after a year to fight Israel Adesanya, which he lost by TKO, which I believe he wasn't ready for, and he wasn't ready to come in to fight such a dynamic and versatile fighter as Izzy. Let's move on to the English muffin himself, Darren the Gorilla Till. He has an impressive 18-win, 2-loss, and 1-draw record, best known for his meteoric rise to the welterweight division, knocking every opponent in his way until he met the champ Tyron Woodley, the greatest welterweight of all time. Even though he lost, he gained a lot of popularity and notoriety in the UFC community. But after getting knocked out by Street Jesus himself, Jorge Masvidal, the game plan had to change. Rather, the weight class had to change. Setting his eyes to middleweight, he needed a tough and game opponent to challenge him and prove that he belongs with the big boys. Enter Yoel. Just kidding. Kelvin Gastelum, who is in theory a light heavyweight but 5'7". This is a very big test for Till because Gastelum in 2019 won the fight of the year against Israel Adesanya, which was a very impressive fight for both fighters that went through every emotional roller coaster you could go through and twists and turns. That fight was amazing and electric. Till's fight against Gastelum was how you would expect it to be. He respected his takedowns, so what Till did was he moved some more. Though his takedown defense was great, it still was a very boring fight, not a Till-like fight. Till is best known to be the biggest social media troll in the UFC. Before his fight with Robert Whittaker, Till would comment on every post of Robert Whittaker in Instagram and Twitter to get his attention, which worked, which got him the fight with Robert Whittaker this Saturday. He also did not just go against Robert Whittaker. he started trolling Mike Perry for an unknown reason. He would create 4 social media accounts just to troll Mike Perry. And they asked him why. Like, why not? It's Mike Perry. I don't blame him. Who doesn't want to troll Platinum Mike? Unless you're an old man in a bar, which is not going to go well for you against a UFC fighter. Predictions. Both fighters stylistically are about the same. Both like to strike. Both like to stand up if they can. Both have good takedown defense. And both went against wrestlers, supreme wrestlers. So look for this to be a stand-up bout. Whittaker will look to push, throw bombs, pick and choose, and try to get the early knockdown. Though that strategy failed against Israel Adesanya, who is a superb defensive fighter, I think this will prove to be a better outcome for him against Till. Till, on the other hand, will try to slow things down and let the fight come to him. With 2 bad losses, a submission, Doris choke against Tyron Woodley, and Mr. Resurrection himself, a knockout, brutal knockout, he's looking not to get knocked out. But my prediction is Robert Whittaker by TKO in the 2nd round. But at the end of the day, there's only one winner of all this, and that's Platinum Mike Perry.